Steve, thank you so much for having us here at Tommyknocker. We are so excited to be here, and thanks for taking the time to chat with us and let me play some music here.
Yeah, we're friendly here.
Yeah, I get that. We came here for lunch, and everybody was so nice, and what a wonderful little community. And you know, for us, this is a really unique episode of Colorado Sessions because you're the first brewery we've done that we know the beer ahead of time. I mean, we're coming through the door already fans of your beer, and so I was wondering, you know, how far do you guys distribute?
Well, you know, we have been around for 26 years, and we are considered a heritage brewery, which can work for us or against us. To answer your question, currently we're in 7 states. We concentrate most of our efforts in Denver, but it wasn't very many years ago we were in 22 states. That was a popular business model at that time when Colorado was the Napa Valley for beer.
Sure.
So it didn't take very much effort for you to pick up states like Florida or New York or the Virginias, where they were calling us up saying, can we get your beer? And the distribution model back then was they would order your beer in and they would distribute it and sell it. Well, then the proliferation of all the breweries in those states, which are good breweries, made that business model go away because they had their own local beers to sell, and then you had to send your own sales staff out there to get that shelf space, which made it expensive. So then the business model changed to be where you localize more, so we're pulling in and selling less volume for more profit locally. So we concentrate our efforts on the Front Range and the mountains. But we are in several other states, and they're the states that basically want us, and we don't have to work super hard to keep that relationship going.
That's awesome. I was, you know, it made me think, because when I think of Tommyknocker, to me, because I have had it all over the place, I think of it as like a regional beer. And I'm sure that here in Idaho Springs, to the locals, you guys are the local beer. You're the local hero. So I was wondering, what kind of things do you guys do to walk that tightrope between expanding your brand or keeping it in 7 states and maintaining a real tie to your community?
Well, it's a complicated question, and you can talk about it forever, but it has to do with sales staff, what the cost per case is that you want to put into it, your distributors, like we have a network of distributors that we work with, and they are territorial also, and it's a business arrangement under contract, so you just can't do whatever you want. When you're a small craft brewery that's self-distributing, you can pretty much do whatever you want with the means that you have. Once you get to a level where, like us, we're smaller than big and bigger than small, but we have relationships with distributors, they kind of dictate that. You know, you can get together and your business partners, but they have their means that they have to work with also. They have staffing, they have territories, they have the business model, they have on-premise, you know, which is draft beer versus off-premise, and there's different footprints, like how much shelf space are you in chain accounts, which is the grocery stores, are you in independents, what are you focusing on as a brand, things like that, and it goes on and on from there.
Sure, yeah.
But our main thing is, you know, we are a local Idaho Springs establishment, been here for 26 years, and I live here, and I'm very grounded here, and we focus on everything local as possible, and we have I-70 right outside the brewery, 20 million cars a year drive by. So we have a 300-person restaurant that we cater to the highway with, and it does very, very well. We sell 1,000 barrels of beer over the bar every year, which is a good amount. And then we have a whole network. Like I said earlier, we concentrate on the Front Range and in Summit County in the mountains. That's our bread and butter. And from there, we dabble in these out-of-state markets.
Okay. And then for, I heard that you're really involved with something near and dear to my heart, which is the Colorado Mountain Club, I think. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about that. What do you guys do with those?
So pre-COVID, we went into a relationship with them. We make a beer for them where the profits go back into the Colorado Mountain Club. They have 8,000 members, and so it's a good networking thing for us where it's just grassroots. We don't have a marketing person. We don't have a marketing company. We have always just grown on grassroots efforts where we go in low on a bluegrass fest and then it grows, or we go in on a brand like Colorado Mountain Clubs. We're also with Friends of Berthoud Pass.
Okay.
That's another one that we do.
So you brought some hops here today. Tell me about this. What are these?
Yeah, every year there is this group from the Colorado CU Extension Program. They run a horticulture program based out of Georgetown, and these are hops that we call heritage hops. And back in 1859, I can tell the story right now, where George Jackson was exploring this area before Idaho Springs or anything was here. Denver was just popping up. I believe it was the first year that the first liquor license was established in Denver, 1859. And George Jackson discovered gold in a stone's throw away from the brewery right over here in the creek. And in the next few years, 30,000 people moved to the valley to get rich on the gold. And a lot of them were Cornish miners that came over, and they also had to have beers, so they planted their own hops to brew their own beer here, and those hop vines are still here to this day. So this group has kind of curated those vines and made them more usable, and this is like, we do it every year, and so we have these hop vines up there in their garden, and you can kind of crush it up and smell it. It smells good, kind of green, chlorophyll-y, a little grassy, starting to develop a little spicy notes. So they're trying to bring them back every year. They call the weak ones and bring in the nice healthy ones up, and we throw the bag of these into one of our beer batches of beer, and there's an event that happens like in a month, and we do it with the other breweries that are in the corridor here. We get together and we do a Heritage Hops Fest. Last year was an online thing, and we do a beer sampling, food pairing, educational, fun lecture event.
So if I was here in your brewery and I heard the Tommyknocker knocking on the pipes saying, come to the mother load, I'm going to show you your new favorite beer. My current favorite beer is your Blood Orange, but I'm here to discover what my next favorite Tommyknocker beer is. What do you think that beer is? What's the beer I should taste tonight?
Oh, our sour beer category is taking off right now. Right now we have a Tartaberry on tap and a Sumac on tap. We also Sumac sour, with culinary Sumac is pretty unique and fun. And also right now we have our pumpkin beer, which is not new, but it's, everybody's done a pumpkin beer. People love to hate pumpkin beers, but our pumpkin beer is stuck around, and we sell a lot of it every year, and we have big fans.
Well, I'm really excited to be here. Usually when I drive through Idaho Springs on I-70, I think of the big red Argo mine. I think of the waterfall there across, and so it's good to be here and spend some time in Idaho Springs.
Well, I can talk about that waterfall a little bit. And every brewery has its house profile, and there's lots of things that go into make that up, like the elevation the brewery's at, the size and shape of the fermenters, the kind of heat source you have for the kettle, the mood the brewer's in the day he's making beer, and some things that are like unique to us, which is our water source. Our water source is single source water right off the Continental Divide, snow melt, spring water, literally runs down the mountain, and our filter plant is a couple miles up the road, and it filters the water, and then it goes to a water storage tank, which is right behind the trees on the hill behind the brewery here. That waterfall that you see when you drive down I-70 is the overflow from the water tank, so it's an artificial waterfall. And then our water literally runs in. So it's single source. Most businesses in the world are using municipal water that's been reused and treated and used and treated. So we have the fortunate advantage to have single source water. So
water straight off the Continental Divide, hops in some cases from these Cornish miners way back come in. So it's wonderful. I can't wait to try some of the beers, and I'm really looking forward. So excited to play some music here again. And now it's time for a little thing that Andy and I are calling Last Call. It's a quiz of 10 questions. You think you're up for it?
Yes.
All right, let's give it a shot. So here we go. Last call. Start the clock. There's no clock. All right. So question number 1. What was the first beer you ever drank?
I'm going to say the green stubby bottle Mickey's.
Okay. Correct. Question number 2. Tommyknocker obviously has very tight ties to Idaho Springs. You're part of the community. You've supported the community and vice versa. But if Tommyknocker couldn't be in Idaho Springs, what would be your second choice of a town in Colorado? What would be your second choice of a Colorado town for?
I would say Creed, Colorado.
Creed. Nice. That is a nice place. I like
There's
Creed.
a Tommyknockers there, by the way.
There is.
It's a Tommyknockers tavern. It's nothing to do with us, but
wonderful.
I like that town.
All right. Question number 3. The even-numbered interstates in the United States go which direction?
East-west.
Correct. Question number 4. There are 3 exits for Idaho Springs on this side of the tunnel. What are one of the exit numbers that gets you to Idaho Springs?
Exit 240, that's that one right here.
I thought I'd stump you on that one. No. I don't know the exit number, my exit number back home. Well. Question number 5. What's the capital of Idaho?
Idaho Falls? No, Boise.
Yes. Question number 6. Given that there are 10 questions in the last call, how many more questions am I going to ask you?
4 more. I was guessing.
Yeah. Question number 7. What's the first concert you ever attended?
The Who.
Really?
Yeah. 9th grade.
This is insane.
Yeah.
Because question number 8. What classic rock group from the UK wrote the rock opera Tommy?
The Who. I saw that too.
Question number 9. What American singer-songwriter wrote the song Knockin' on Heaven's Door?
Bob Dylan.
Yes.
Minnesota boy like me.
All right. And for the win, question number 10. In 2016, I visited Idaho Springs after climbing a 14,000-foot peak with my daughter. That peak sits right beside Mount Bierstadt. I'm sure you remember my visit that year. So what was the name of the mountain that we climbed?
Evans?
Yes. For the win.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
They're all like right there. Yeah.
So you've won yourself a Session Head, it's upside down here, Session Head t-shirt.
That is
you're now
cool.
a Session Head.
Look at that.
And how about a sticker too? We got a little Colorado Session sticker
Perfect. We
here
got
for
a
you.
sticker spot downstairs.
Just, Steve, thank you so much. In all seriousness, we are really, really happy to be here. I'm so glad to be performing music here. I'm really excited, and we hope to add something to Tommyknocker and just have a good fun this evening.
Let's drink a beer.
Yeah, thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Enjoy.